Hey, yay, good morning, friends. Or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be enjoying this practice. I'm beaming into you from the center of the full moon portal, like exact, just a couple hours ago. Welcome to my winter cabin. We're going to be broadcasting from here for a while. So I'm back in Yakima land, beautiful Pacific Northwest region, such ancient land, and excited to do some movement practice today, see what we get into. I don't really have any agenda other than let's get woomy. I'm going to shorten the practice today. It'll be about a 50-minute practice, and we're going to transition into another space right after this. So a little transition time doesn't hurt. So let's get into it. We're going to be on our backs and breathing into things. Yeah. Starting with a few deep breaths. Wherever the breath is starting from, chest, belly, just letting the breath be as it is, arise as it is. And we'll see where that takes us. Maybe with each inhale, we descend a little bit. If we're up in the chest, we start breathing to the abdomen. A little lower towards the navel. Deep in the belly, in and around the organs. Any little spontaneous movement starts to arise that helps you breathe into the depths of the belly, the depths of the pelvic bowl. And just where can you feel little soft rhythms and undulations? And you feel the spine is starting to lengthen, the pelvis starting to settle, even just the influence of gravity. The organs are settling downwards, the boobs is sliding to the side, right? Just notice this grounding feeling. Take the mind to all the points that are touching the floor. I've got my knees bent, so feet and hips and many parts of the back, lower, upper, shoulders, back of the head, elbows. Connect with the ground beneath you, earthing in the ancestry of land. What are the soft undulations, the soft, gentle movements that would like to emerge? Is that a very gentle zigzag twist, like just a few degrees of the twist, or a really nice big zigzag twist? Ooh, turning the head in the opposite direction. What about the opposite way? Inhale and exhale. Back in the center, very gentle pelvic tilting, super gentle, like a little micro tilt, tailbone tucks under, a little micro tilt, anterior tilt. We're going to feel a lot more of tailbone tuck under here. And just feel this anatomy, things that are moving, feel the presence of fluid, of gas, of extras, right? Those moon cycles, right? The water flow in the body, the tides in the body. Draw the knees in towards the chest, give the legs a hug. Is there a little gentle undulation here? Gentle rocking side to side. Gentle circles with knees in towards chest and away from the body. Both directions. Right down towards the tail. How about side to side? Back in the center, figure 8. So just a nice opening and loosening of the posterior, the back side of the sacrum. Opposite figure 8, pretty big rocking from side to side. Stretch the legs, but keep the knees bent as if we were doing something like a happy baby pose. But now just enjoying that rocking from side to side. And a little just hooking around the backs of the knees nice and wide. Bringing knees in towards chest. Nice. Bringing the feet back onto the floor. Figure 4 stretch here. Right foot above the left knee. And again, just gentle flowing waters. It's a Venus day. It's a moon influence. In a watery Pisces, sidereal Pisces. So we're just tuning in. How is the water flowing in the body today? It's a primary substance, fluid. How is fluid flowing in the body today? Now we switch sides. Right, we invite that external rotation gently and then just flowing. Little lapping movements, exploring. Are you breathing a little deeper? Are there any sighs and releases happening? Each of those expressions moving us towards restfulness, opportunities of restfulness. Bringing both feet onto the floor, stretching the arms overhead. Take a gentle roll onto the belly. Again, these very gentle, loosening movements, pushing the belly gently into the floor, lifting, baby cobra, roll the shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together. No squeezing of glutes. Legs are together for the most part, breathing in, exhale. And when you come down, forehead to the floor, and let the spine lengthen. Inhale, let's do it again. Rolling the shoulders. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhaling all the way down, forehead to the floor, resting breath. Three more times, baby cobra. Lots of lengthening in between. Again, are there little spontaneous movements arising that are supporting that release, that letting go? I think this is our last one here. I'm really just focused on my upper back, doing the efforting here. All the way down into reversed corpse pose, forehead to the floor, hands touching like thumbs touching, melting. Not too many breaths there. Might fall asleep. Half locust pose. We're going to lift opposite arm and leg, right arm, left leg lifts up. You don't have to lift very high for this to be effective, but you could flex this foot, give a little traction out of the hip socket, and then lift. Finding length, allowing for circulation of fluids in the joint spaces. And this is also a beautiful strengthening pose, but this is one of those opposite opposing movements, which really keeps the brain fresh. Little bit of passive hip opening from here. Flapping fish pose, draw the right leg upwards towards 90 degrees, even a little bit outwards from the hip. And let's just hang out here in the center. Couple breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, stretch this leg back down and go over to the opposite side. Just keeping the trunk in the center here. Maybe a little bit out from the hip socket. Breathe. Nice big breath in. Exhale, stretch that leg. We're back to reversed corpse pose. Melt into the floor. Couple breaths. Can you breathe into the whole spine? One of my favorite poses, that reversed corpse pose. So we've been doing a lot with the back body, posterior part of the pelvis. Let's do a little baby cobra as we then push ourselves up and back into child's pose. Enjoying. Nice big stretch here. What are some of the little intuitive movements arising here? Separate the feet a little. Getting at some of those groin attachments. We're rocking forwards and backward. So wide with the feet in line with knees. Knees are wide. So working our way around those hips. Really now bring feet together really wide. Child's pose. Stack the forearms. Rest here. Nice. Slowly coming up, coming down onto the bum. And a little internal rotation here. One day I'll find yoga pants that don't want to fall down. Internal rotation. So we're just sort of circumambulating the hips here. We started in posterior, and now we're kind of coming around to those groin spaces. Internal rotation, but of course, we're also doing something here for hip. As we think of hip like outer hip, internal rotation. Coming around now, front part of hip, lunging positions. Do you need extra padding? Or under the knee, grab a pillow, grab a blanket. We're just 90 degrees. Let's find that little gentle pelvic tilt that we were playing with on our back. Now, tilting hips forward, a little bit easier. Tailbone tucks under. Feel what's happening in the groin. Who's pulling? Who's tight? Who's not interested in letting go? Let's just switch sides and try that. Hips tilt forward. Right, so like fanning open around the tailbone. Tailbone tucks under. I don't even know if you can like see what I'm doing. It's very soft. Just slight tilting, tucking. How about both? A baby camel. Here I'm gonna have toes untucked. I'm gonna bring hands behind for hip support. This needs to stay really open. What we're not gonna do is just push the hips forward. Instead, right from center of chest towards the sky. Very gentle. The tailbone should have all the space in the world. So gentle. Vajrasana, diamond pose. Spinal movement from here. Contracting, expanding, flexion, extension. Maybe noises, sounds emerging, popping, cracking, bubbling, haunted house sounds. Cat pose, spinal movement. Breathing in. Breathing out. Side to side movement. Inhale. Exhale. Find a heel. Inhale, center. Exhale. And find a heel. Child's pose. Shake up the wrist. Are you feeling a little bit more space? Shoulder rolls while we're here. A little upside down, getting under the shoulder blade. Using that intuitive movement to get under the shoulder blade. Walking one hand forward. Walking the other hand forward. hip movement from all fours. So hands and knees, and we just maybe hands need to be a little bit more forward. Yeah, yeah, go. And circle side to side. Trace the circle with the belly button. Can you feel front part of the hips? Let's go in the opposite direction. Keep it light on the hand. Fingers spread very wide. Up, way, back. Figure eight. And start to feel this snake-like movement, spiral movement. Is there an opposite direction? Nice child's pose. Let's get into a little bit of this low lunging. So 90 degrees first. I've got my left leg down, left arm comes up, just first breathing here and letting things settle into the hips, settle into the tailbone, lots of space. Remember, this is our earth phase stretch. We are in the earth phase season. Get your sweaters out. Get your apple cider. Now bring it forward, a little bit more of a lunge here. And we're just going to take ourselves. Actually, first, let's be up top here. Forward and backwards. If you feel like tucking the back toes under, that's fine too. All right, maybe that hip flexor has some new ideas of things finally. Willing to open up a little bit. Okay, now take it forward more and rotate externally to the outside. We're coming for you, outer hip. You're next in our circumambulation, the landscape of the pelvic ball. Nice. Think we're ready to switch. Don't hesitate to pad that knee. The knee wants a little bit of mashing into the ground, but it needs to be soft and supported. Nice, got that earth face stretch. Now we're taking just a little forward and backward movement. An undulation, a flow. So we're doing, could we call this a hip mobility practice? Absolutely. This is my hip mobility practice. So I'll typically do like basically this whole set of what we're doing, either before or after a workout. Like, but I'll do this whole set. Oh, let's take it in a circle. Beautiful circle. Take it back to Vajradasana and Supta Vajradasana. We make a little bit of space, knees together, reaching back. Big stretch on the front part of the body. Me, I'm just going to keep my head in the center here today. last child's pose here. Counter pose for what we just did. And we said we need something for this external rotation piece. Let's bring one side like a pigeon pose and another side just leg tuck behind, and then take that a little bit forward. Okay, here we go. Opposite side. Take it a little bit forward. And let's alternate. That is getting at a beautiful spot right now. And let's do this a few more rounds. Hold where needed. How about one more time to each side? What are you feeling in the body right now? A little bit of heat, warmth, flow, openness, cranky places telling you what they think? Nice. We're right here. We're going to come onto our backs for a couple of twists. For zigzag twist. Now single leg twist. Legs are extended. Arms out to the sides. Inhale, bring the right leg first to the outside. That's a big inhale. Exhale across the body. Single leg twist. And breathe. Try the opposite side. Left leg to the outside. And across the body to the inhale back to center. Take a breath here. Gently roll to a side and sit up. Twist from Sukhasana. Easy pose. Backhand pushing chest forward. Turning towards the space behind you. Let's go opposite direction. Back to center. There's a couple more range of motion things we could do from standing. So why don't you go ahead and bring yourself into a standing position. And from standing, we're in wide leg stance. And this is just like a standing side lunge. You can decide where you might like the feet. facing forward or a little bit facing outward. Nice, back to center. Feet are facing forward pretty wide. Horse stance. We're coming, karate horse stance. We're coming into knees bent, and you're gonna push knees outwards. And just feel that like opening again, adductor. Straighten the legs. Wiggle, torque a little. Deep, 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 deep. And back into horse stance. Feel we sit down into the gentle squat and the knees go out. Some people with like massive flexibility, they'll be at 90 degrees. Coming back up. Now turning the heels inwards. Actually walking the feet in a little, heels inward, feet turned out, chikodachi, squatting stance. This is an actual fighting stance. Horse stance is a training stance. All right, chest forward, shoulders back and down. Straightening the legs, shake them out. Nice wide leg forward bend, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthening through the spine. Little dynamic low runner's lunge. You're gonna pivot the left foot outward, pivot the back heel in, down onto the floor. Low runner's lunge. Something we could do is hug the knees towards one another, creating isometric muscle contraction, meaning stabilization for the hip joint. And if you wanted to do a little range of motion from down here, engaging hamstring. Nice, push up, pivot, opposite side, rotate, and enjoy the low lunge. Draw the knees towards one another, a little isometric muscle contraction. And if we wanted to, a little rocking movement, waking up the hamstring. Nice inhale, back to center, forward fold. Walk the feet in, turn the heels in, chikarachi. Squatting stance. Feel all the distribution of weight through the feet. And the flex through the hips, back into the glutes. Next inhale. Straightening up. Slowly making our way. Standing hip circle. Opposite direction. Forward and backwards. Ring the bell. Yeah, not too wide with the feet here. Sort of walking them towards one another. Ringing the bell. And the little smiley faces. Coming onto the toe tip. Right there. Back to center, figure eights. All right, we should be pretty familiar with what's loose and what's tight, what's having a good day. We woke up cranky. Shake it out. A little free flow, wiggle it out. Anywhere else. Holding, checking in on the surface area. Nice. Okay. A moment in standing pose. And yeah, this is mountain pose. This is our standing meditative pose. A little bit of space between the feet, soft knees. We're a little bit back, seated back into the glutes. So there's flexion in the hips here. And that's going to enable us to breathe into the kidneys, to breathe into the psoas. A little fluffing of the arms, relax. Eyes are open, expanded in all 6 directions, front, back, left, right, up, and below the feet. Excuse me. And where we want to get to today, what we want to feel. A couple of times ping between the soles of the feet and the hips. Distribute the weight around the soles of the feet evenly. Come up to the hips. Distribute the weight evenly through the hips or a little bit back into the glutes. Getting to the point where the spine is in total effortlessness inside of the sacrospinal fluid. Tune into the spine and feel the spine is undulating. Spine is gently moving. Little vibrational movements inside fluid-filled space, nutrient-rich space. And I invite you to tune into an aspect of the ancestors, the lineage of knowledge inherited that lives in this part of the body, the spinal column, vertebra. It's a whole computer system that interfaces with the entire body. It's a library of wisdom and knowledge. Couple more breaths here. Little spirals of the wrists, rocking movement from side to side. And we take ourselves into standing twist. Picking up one heel at a time to make this easier on the knees. Feel expansive here. We're twisting the whole of the energy body. Start to slow down, coming all the way to a stop. Tune back into the breath. Feeling throughout the body where we have some flow and where things are, I don't know, still holding. It's a puzzle. Friends, I thank you so much. We're going to conclude this movement practice here, and maybe I'm going to catch you in a couple minutes in the full moon circle. And we'll continue the celebration of fluid-filled spaces and undulations and all the things. So thank you for being here. Enjoy the practice, and I'll see you next week for movement.